Continuing with the theme of getting down to business, I've reinstalled code blocks, which I mentioned in Series 1 as an IDE, and now I'm installing Eclipse for Scientific Computing, which I'm installing using Eclipse installer for Windows 64-bit, which I've downloaded from eclipse.org/downloads and so on. Select all, accept. So now we should have Eclipse as well as code blocks as IDEs. You'll have noticed that it also installed the Java runtime environment. That's JRE 1.8.0, which is the current version. Well, I've just launched the IDE, and here you have the very first welcome page, which gives you samples to try out, tutorials, importing an existing C++ project, create a new one, import a project with a working make file, create a new Fortran project, and so on. And continuing on that theme, we've installed CMake. There's the icon for it. Cross-platform family of tools designed to build, test, and package software. There you are. That looks as though that might be another very useful thing. Oh yes, and while we're at it, we can put in program file /CMake bin, also code blocks, Eclipse parallel. We can put all those in our path as well. And remember to have mingw/mingw32 binaries in your path as well. Perhaps we need more adding, but we'll soon find out. And continuing again with getting down for business, we won't get very far without graphics. We need to visualize our data. So what I want to do is get all my OpenGL stuff running on Windows. So OpenGL is an open source graphics library. That's what the GL bit is. Things like GLUT, for instance, stand for GL Utility Toolkit. So if you see the letters GL in capitals usually in something, it's usually because it's referring to OpenGL. So GLUT is the GL Utilities Toolkit. Now the first thing I'd done was this, installed GLUT for MinGW. There we are, that's the website here. There's GLUT 3.76. I've unpacked in my downloads directory, and I've copied their program test.c and compiled it as per their instructions. There we are. There's the program test.c, and there's the compilation line, and there we are. It's all compiled, and we've not actually installed it because it's just in our downloads directory, and we'll leave it that way because we might not really need it anyway. However, if we do test, we see that it plots the rectangle that it's supposed to. And what a horrible colour they've chosen for the rectangle. Actually, I've just found this GLUT minus MinGW, slightly later version. And again, I'm going to leave it where it is for the moment. Anyway, it's unpacked into this directory. Anyway, here's the contents. We have a README, a 32 DLL, and these two directories. And again, we'll leave that alone for now, because this guy, Bhargav Chipita, anyway, he has a very useful site here, and this is a little part of it. There he is. You can follow his site if you want. How do you set up OpenGL with MinGW 64 in Windows 10? Well, first of all, he's asking what MinGW is, which we know we've installed that. Check if OpenGL is installed. It certainly will be on any modern Windows Microsoft Windows system as well as Linux and probably Mac. Anyway, he says check to see if those two things are there, and they are indeed there. Well, we've already downloaded and installed that. This guy is the reason why I installed CMake, and now install FreeGlut, OpenGL utility toolkit. Remember, is Glut, and FreeGlut is the open source alternative to it. Glut is now no longer being developed, whereas FreeGlut is. He downloaded FreeGlut 3.0.0. Can we do that? Yes, we can. Well, here we are. I've downloaded it to my directory gl_downloads. I've unzipped it and unpacked the tar file using tar-xvf command to extract the tar file. And here we are in the directory, and we have various readmes. But what we're going to do first of all is just follow the instructions over here. So, and what's he saying? Well, I've just copied and pasted this makefile CMake command, and the thing I have to do is change this prefix, because on my system, yes, on my system it's slightly different. It's mingw/mingw32. That doesn't mean 32-bit, by the way. And then hit return. Well, for mingw make to work correctly, shell.exe must not be in my path. So what do we do about that? I'm just going to go to shell.exe and rename it temporarily. Well, shell.exe lives here on my system anyway, c:/msys64/user/bin, and what I'm going to do is just move shell.exe to shell2.exe and go back here in our 3.0.0 directory and do that CMake command again. It tells us configuring incomplete errors occurred. I've checked out these, and I don't know whether I'm being thick or not, but I didn't really find them very helpful as to what's gone wrong and how to fix it. Now I've run that CMake command again. This time it just says configuring done, generating done, and the build files have been written, so that seems to be a good start after all. And then execute mingw32 -make all, and off it goes. Now that's an important thing there. It's compiled FG standing for FreeGlut, spaceball.c. The reason that's important is, you see, what I'd done was download the latest version, which is 3.2.1. If I unpack those into a directory and follow exactly the same instructions, I get error messages and the compile fails because of fg_spaceball.c. But on version -3.0.0 it compiles fine. Well, let's start again with the latest version. I've re-unpacked FreeGlut -3.2.1 into GL downloads, and my GNU FreeGlut at the moment is an empty directory. We've fired up CMake, the graphical user interface. Now, specify the generator. You see, we can use Visual Studio, mingw make files. That's another option, which is would be equivalent to what we did with the 3.0 version. Unix make files, code blocks mingw, but you can see we've got Eclipse as well, so code blocks mingw. Okay, it's picked up the compilers. We get this again. We just press configure again. It says configuring done, and then generate. You see that now my GNU FreeGlut is no longer an empty directory, and we'll do the magic mingw32 minus make all. Anyway, so here we are, and these are the famed errors, and the compilation fails. Look at this function. So why does one compile and the other one fail? Well, this is the 3.0 version of FG Spaceball, and what you can see is it does nothing at all. And here we go to the latest version, and it's certainly not doing nothing. If you like, the earlier version is like a placeholder for later work, and the later work is done in 2014. Okay, modified for Space Navigator support and supporting 3D connections, 6th degree of freedom navigator. I've no idea what's going on here. Well, I don't know what it is a matter of. Well, for the moment I've decided to stick with FreeGlut 3.0.0 and compile it with the GNU compilers. Okay, I finally did a make install. We have the archives, static library and header files all in mingw32, and we should be able to use it now. This is good site at transmission 0, which explains things a bit more about Glut and FreeGlut, so I'd recommend having a visit to this page. One of the things you can do is go and download this. This turns out to be the 3.0.0 binary DLL and the header files, so we don't need to do that because we've compiled and installed 3.0.0 already.